One of the most intriguing characters in numismatic history, or any history for that matter, has to be Julius Popper. Popper was a Romanian-born engineer, explorer, and soldier of fortune who eventually became known as the Tyrant of Tierra del Fuego. Among his exploits were civil and mechanical engineering studies in Paris, designing the outline of modern-day Havana, Cuba, mining gold and battling the Indians in Tierra del Fuego, and minting his own gold coins which bore his name, all before dying under mysterious circumstances in Buenos Aires at the age of 35. We caught up with David McCarthy, senior numismatist and researcher at Kagins at the Long Beach show earlier this year. In this video, David displays one of Popper's gold coins, a rare example graded MS63 by PCGS, and recounts his colorful story. For more information on Julius Popper, his coins, and his action-packed life, read David McCarthy's article in the October 27th e-collector, and enjoy the video.
I think one of the most interesting coins that we have right now, at least in terms of story and rarity and everything, is this, which is a privately struck gold coin from the gold rush in Tierra del Fuego, Argentina, that was struck in 1889 by Julius Popper. And it's an interesting coin. Julius Popper is perhaps the most interesting individual who ever struck a coin. He was born in Romania and traveled to Paris, where he studied engineering. And from Paris, he traveled through Asia, through Japan, and into the Americas. And in the 1870s, I believe, wound up in Havana, Cuba, where he helped design the city that we know as Havana today. And while he was there was a gold rush that started in Argentina, and he heard about it and decided he would go down there and seek his fortune. And Popper arrived in Argentina at the diggings and discovered that they'd been exhausted, and decided that he was going to put together a group of prospectors, and wound up deciding that he wanted to go to Tierra del Fuego, which is just at the southern tip of South America. It's one of the most inhospitable places on the planet. And he arrived there with his men and started traipsing over the island, and discovered some gold there, and claimed it. And after that, got into all sorts of trouble. He became involved with skirmishes with the local Indians that actually ended up with him and his men, who were hired mercenaries, hunting the Indians there, and clashed with prospectors from Chile, which caused a little bit of an international incident in Argentina at the time. He became involved in politics and business in Buenos Aires before mysteriously dying a few years after this coin was struck. Several people say he was poisoned, but no one's exactly sure what happened. This piece is particularly interesting. It's one of two or perhaps three known examples of the issue, and it's probably the finest. It's rated MS63 by PCGS, and it's really spectacular. I love it because it's an example of pioneer gold, which is something that we specialize in, but unlike most of what we see, which is American pioneer gold, Beckler's and California gold and Clark Gruber's, it comes from another country, but it's someone who was doing exactly the same thing that all of the private mints were doing here, who's taking gold out of the ground and turning it into a medium of exchange that would be efficient. And so I personally love the piece. I love the story behind it. I love the fact that it's probably the only one that's ever going to be available to a private collector. The only other piece that's been traced is in a museum. And I just think it's an absolutely fascinating item.
Wow, this is a very cool coin, David. What is the value of it, more or less?
It's probably worth somewhere around $100,000. It's really difficult to price something that's this rare and unusual and esoteric, but my best guess is it's somewhere around $100,000.